I'm Catherine Bach from Burlington Friends Meeting, and I was involved in the Poor People's Campaign, where I got arrested in Montpelier, Vermont, for staying in the State House after hours. There were 7 of us arrested that day, and in the entire campaign there were about 40 of us arrested over the 6-week period. So when I went to court, there was only one other person, and we were together with about 20 other people who'd been accused of other misdemeanors. So first we waited while we watched the people come with their counsel, and they all stood looking at the floor being very quiet, and their counsel spoke, and they were given their punishment, which was usually a curfew and not being allowed to go to certain places. When it was my turn, I had said I didn't need a counsel, and so I was standing there alone, and the judge explained to me what would happen if I pleaded guilty, what would happen if I pleaded not guilty. And then I realized that I got to speak for myself, and he was forced to listen to whatever I said. So I took the opportunity to explain to him what the Poor People's Campaign was about, and to say that these people before me who were accused of a homeless woman who was sleeping somewhere she wasn't supposed to sleep, somebody with a drug offense, somebody for shoplifting, somebody for breaking into a house. I explained all these people were a symptom of what I was objecting to, the system that made it impossible for people to live in this country if they didn't have enough money, and impossible for them to get out of poverty. And I took the opportunity to also talk about the other aspects of the Poor People's Campaign, getting rid of systemic racism, getting rid of the military economy, and fighting climate change, along with getting rid of poverty. The judge looked at me and sort of gave me a half smile, saying, "So this was an act of conscience?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, what do you plead?" And he had been talking me into pleading not guilty, but I was obviously guilty, so I pled guilty. And he'd already explained that I would have to pay a fine, but then I was done. So I said guilty, and he said, "Okay, you can go out and pay your fine." As I walked out the door into the lobby, a woman followed me, and she said, "Can I give you a hug? Thank you so much for doing this for us." So I felt, wow, that was encouraging. And I went and paid my fine, feeling that this justice system was totally backwards. Here they are telling me to lie by pleading not guilty, so that I didn't have to have a criminal record and do the other things that then would be a result of me having a criminal record.